Painting freehand on your miniatures is one of the hardest things in the hobby. I don't know about you, but my hands, they start shaking just thinking about it. But what if I told you there is a way to get insane details on your minis without needing steady hands or any kind of freehand skills at all? So when I recently showed off my war prophet for my pilgrims, I got a huge response. A lot of people asked me if I had in fact painted this banner. And since you clicked on this video, you already know the answer to that. Here is the tutorial that you asked for. I wanted the leader of my warband to really stand out. And since it's still a normal human without any flashy weapons or details, I had to be creative. I started with clipping off the head, since I wanted to stick with the pilgrim's iconic helmet, the Iron Capriot. Then I placed this banner on the base behind her. I got it from the official accessories kit. I started out with black primer. I really come to love Molotov One for All. It really works wonders through the airbrush. No need to dilute it or anything. Enough stalling. Let's get to that banner. The first thing I do is measure the banner in millimeters, so I know exactly how big or small it is, depending on how you see it, I guess. And now, let's move to the computer. I look through Pinterest to find fitting artwork for the banner, both sides of course. An important thing when picking the artwork is to make sure that it has distinct visual components and that it isn't too cluttered. It needs to be easy to read. It can have a lot of details, but the main subject should be well defined. Because the theme of my Pilgrim Warband is Warrior Saints, I choose to go with artwork that depicts warrior angels. After taking pictures of my banner, I place it in Photoshop. The banner should fit precisely inside of the canvas. Because the shape of the banner is not symmetrical, it will look something like this. The details that are furthest out should touch the edges of the canvas. Then I go about selecting the flag with the lasso tool. And when this is done, I invert my selection so that everything except the flag is selected. Then I move to the layer where I have my artwork and press delete. Now I have a cutout that fits perfectly on my banner. For the backside, I do the exact same thing, but make sure to mirror the flag. And of course, I also select all the holes in the banner and remove that from the artwork as well. And of course, I did that on the front banner as well. When this is done, I make sure to remove the background of the picture. It should have this checker looking pattern. I then export both of the pictures as a PNG with transparent background. And when that is done, I go ahead and open up a Word document, or in this case I used PowerPoint for some reason. I input the size of the banner that I measured, and it should now fit the banner. As you see here, when I put in the height, the width is filled in automatically, and that's because the aspect ratio is locked. Since I know that the margins of the picture is right, I probably measured one of the sides slightly off. So I make sure to prepare two versions. One with my recorded height and one with my recorded length. One of this will fit perfectly. I also make sure to make some copies in case something goes wrong. But of course it doesn't. The first cutout fits like a glove. After cutting it out and making sure to knife out all the little holes too, it's time for the secret sauce. I guess it's not really a secret any longer, it's Mod Podge. You've seen me do it on terrain, and it works just as good here. I make sure to cover the whole banner with it, making sure it isn't applied too thick, but rather spread out evenly. And when that is done, I place the cutout on top, and after the placement looks just about right, I use my fingers to conform the paper to the shape of the banner. If the layer of Mod Podge underneath was too thick, the paper would possibly get too moist and damaged. And when pressing with the fingers, a lot would possibly seep out on the edges, making a mess. When I feel all is set, I go in with Mod Podge again on the top. Same here, don't apply it too thick, and I try to work with directional brushstrokes. And then it's time for some epoxy sculpt. The idea was to hide the edges of the paper using some of this. So I think I did a bad mix or something because I had a hard time working with it this time. And well, the result could have been better, of course. But you know, you live and learn. When the epoxy has dried overnight, I go in with paint on top. First with an off-white primer, then I try to mix the colors of the artwork on my palette and extend the artwork by painting it all the way out on the edge. And as you see here, I use the Ionic paints. They are really reliable paints, and if you haven't seen it, you should take a look at my video about them. It should be in one of the corners right now. I use the same technique on the scroll that he's holding, and because it's so freaking small, I go in with some zoom glasses, zoom, and some paint to refine the details some more. Then it's time to paint the mini, and now that I have the banner in place, it's really helpful, because I've basically already chosen a paint scheme for this mini as well. So I go with the same colors as depicted in the artwork. The last thing I do is to spray some ultra matte varnish over the banner, since the Mod Podge dries a little bit too glossy for my taste, even if it is the matte version. And here is the final result. Let me know what you think of the result. Is this something that you will try yourself? If you do try it, be sure to tag me in any kind of attempt, because I would also like to witness your minis. That's it for this time, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye!